welcome to Maw Maw's Best Cooking and More. Today we're going to make homemade cornbread. Very simple recipe. It's the one that I've made for over 50 years. I know there are a lot of different recipes, but this is how I make it. But before we get started, let's wash our hands. Okay, I've got all of the ingredients out here, and I also have already heated my cast iron skillet up. This is a 10-inch cast iron skillet. I've used 1/2 cup of oil, any kind of vegetable oil will work, and I've heated it. The skillet is very hot. So now I'm going to put my ingredients in, and we're using self-rising cornmeal. And I know most people know what that means, but let me explain what self-rising means. It means it already has the baking powder and salt in it, which will help the cornbread rise. You don't have to add soda or baking powder or salt to it. The next thing we add is 1 cup of self-rising flour. Now, a lot of people don't put flour in their cornbread, but I do because it makes it hold together better. It's not crumbly. So we mix our dry ingredients. And the next thing we have is 1 tablespoon of sugar. Yeah, sugar. It just does something. It makes it taste wonderful. You can ask my grandkids. They love it. All right. Now we have 2 whole eggs. We're going to mix in. And 1 3/4 cups of whole milk. Now you can use buttermilk here if you want to, but it just seems that I never have any on hand, so I just use regular whole milk. So we'll just stir that up. And once we get that mixed together, we're going to pour the hot oil from the skillet that's been in the oven for about 10 minutes, getting really warm. We're going to pour that over into the mixture, and that's what makes it so tender and moist, because we've got a 1/2 cup of oil that will go in here. So just mix it up really well. And we'll pour the hot oil over into here. Okay, so that greases your skillet well. Now, if you want to make a smaller amount and use a smaller size skillet, which sometimes I do when I'm just cooking for me and my husband, just cut this recipe in half. And if you're making a little tiny skillet, which will only serve like 1 person or make 4 small servings, you can make 1/3 of the recipe. And we're going to put this over in the skillet, and we're going to cook it for about 45 to 50 minutes in a preheated oven at 450. And it'll get nice and brown and beautiful. So let's put it in the oven. Okay, we have our finished cornbread. Doesn't it look yummy? Now this is the same recipe that I use to make cornbread dressing. Now you notice I've got 1 big plate full here. This is made in a 10-inch skillet. And then I have the corn sticks that make 7 corn sticks, and they're real crispy. That's what my husband likes. He'll say, make them crispy. And I'll have the recipe for that. So you'll have exactly the amount that it takes to fill these corn stick pans. If you've never used these, you might look around and find them. It's an old pan that I have that was my mother-in-law's, but I've seen them everywhere. The cast iron is real popular now, so you might pick that up and try it. Your kids will love it too. Nothing better than a hot corn stick with butter. Now, let's talk about our new Bible verse. We started a new one since it's now November. Do everything in love. 1 Corinthians 16:14. Now tell that to your children and your grandchildren and your spouse and your friends, and let's see if we can put that one to memory. I think you already have the first one to memory. Give thanks to the Lord, for He is good. Psalms 118:1. And so let's add this one now to our memory. See you soon.